Hey everybody, just waiting. Let's see, we're telling your followers that you have started a live video. Okay, and let me just pin. Okay. Hey Josh. Hey Donna. So good to see you. So as we start today, I'm going to be doing one of these live Instagram or Zoom. I'm not sure I'm doing both at the same time. So um, really trying to be efficient today. I'm trying to, well, I plan on doing like an energy update once a month with a mini meditation. So the whole thing will be a half hour. So I am not going to waste any time, but I want to share with all of you that um, first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the energy. And when I say energy, hey there, Michael, I am going to um, I'm going to be talking a little bit about astrology, but not getting into the nitty gritty. And hey, Gabrielle, wonderful to have you here. So, okay, so what I want to share with you is, well, first of all, Happy New Year 2025. And I know many of us are wondering, like, yeah, Happy New Year? I don't know. Well, I'm eternally optimistic. And I think we're here at this juncture in our lifetimes to really bring forward and talk the good talk. All right. So, some of the themes for 2025 that are really kind of clicking into place, I think, for me and for many out there, is that there are 2025 is a lot of beginnings and endings. So, obviously, in order to have a beginning, we need to have some endings too. So, for many of us, we will be seeing something kind of leave our lives. And that could be in the form of relationships, it could be in the form of jobs or careers. And just know that these endings are for a reason. We need to kind of step into some new energy, and we can't grow without kind of leaving some things behind that maybe aren't there for our highest purpose. So let's just kind of settle into that. If you're already feeling some endings in your life and it's a bit challenging, and we've all been there, just know that there's something new for you that is really meant for you that will be coming some point this year. Now, according to numerology, we're going into a 9 year. Well, we're in a 9 year, shall I say. So this is Western numerology. And a 9 year is a year of humanitarianism. It is, so I think we're going to be seeing a lot of themes as we have been with um, a lot of challenges on the planet. And I want to do a shout out to anybody. I don't think anybody's here from California, but a real shout out to anybody who may join um, from that area, the region with all the wildfires. I know we all have um, are sending really good blessings and love and light to all of you because there is just such a tragedy, and really sending the energy or the vibes to subside those winds. They did come down, but I think they're being forecasted to ramp up again. So sending just total calmness to that energy. And that energy, of our weather patterns, it often resonates as a metaphor in our lives. So I was just having a conversation the other day, and when I was in this conversation, I realized like I'm like going in circles. I felt like it was a bit of a tornado, and I just realized how unsettled I was, kind of starting this new year, just feeling like everything's up in the air and kind of lacking some clarity. lacking a feeling of groundedness. It's like too much air, right? The wind. So think of it as like this spiral of a tornado that kind of we're feeling ourselves in. And of course, here on the East Coast, we had a lot of wind as well, not as crazy as the West Coast, but um, I think there's a general sense of confusion, uncertainty, ungroundedness that many of us are feeling. And just know that you may not be feeling it in your life, but you might be picking it up from the greater collective. So just know that. Just let it kind of move through you. And we will come to more feeling of groundedness um, soon. So right now, the themes are humanitarianism. We can see a lot of war going on in this country, a lot of aggression, and then, of course, a lot of natural weather events and weather phenomena. Um, there's going to be this call for more humanitarianism in those ways. And of course, migrations and all of that that comes with it, that's only going to amp up. Um, really, the stars are saying that there's going to be a lot of climate refugees this year. And I think many of us can feel that. So lots and lots of love and compassion is the energy of this year, and self-love. And it is so important to follow your passions in your work, in your career. And if you can't do that as a career, finding your passion and doing that in some way, because oh my gosh, our passions are what we're meant here to do. We're not meant to just hold them in. Our passions are what give us joy. So, whatever it is that lights you up, make sure that you're bringing that out into the world this year, because that is such an important way that we can shift consciousness on this planet. Okay. Another theme is Mars and Pluto have been in opposition. And what that dynamic is showing is Mars is kind of the aggressor, the warrior, and Pluto is kind of the underworld and major power. So you've got these two kind of been in opposition since November, early November, and they continue to kind of play in this realm. So you may find a lot of like power plays in your life, like maybe somebody who's stepping up to kind of assert power over you, or maybe you are doing that with another. Just really be honest and see how that might be working out in your life. At a higher level, this dynamic can bring forward more of your own assertiveness as like willpower and aligning with your personal power. So that is a really great way to work with that energy. Now, there's also this polarization of Mars and Pluto being in fixed signs can be stubborn. So, just kind of watch for that, kind of like digging in heels. So if you get into a situation with somebody who's you're feeling that like polarization of I'm right, you're wrong, our tendency might be to kind of engage in that conflict, especially with Mars opposite Pluto. So just try to remember this and just take a few breaths before you kind of impulsively respond. Just know this is what the energy is of the collective. Just don't engage in that type of energy. Okay, so Mars is actually going retrograde now. So Mars has been in Leo, which is very fiery energy. It's moving back into um, Cancer, which is water. It's emotions. So Mars retrograde is very uncomfortable. Mars wants to charge forward all the time. And when Mars goes retrograde, and this retrograde is just how we observe it on our planet, it's not really going retrograde, but Mars retrograde is very frustrated energy because Mars wants to accomplish and to move forward. It's a go, go, go kind of energy. And when it's being pulled back, um, ways that we can work with this energy is recognizing it first, that maybe things that you're trying to get moving are going to be um, really held back. You might feel like you're spinning your wheels on something. So use this time for like kind of greater focus um, and planning, but also asserting your willpower, like bringing your willpower up during this time. Now, Mars is also what's called out of bounds, which means its energy can be very extreme. So, that extreme energy we're seeing on the planet as war and aggression. However, as we know, everything has a yin and yang, right? So everything has a positive and negative. So a way that we can use Mars out of bounds, which is through the end of, well, actually, April 7th. Mars with this retrograde can actually, with kind of using our assertive will, we can break through to something. So if you've been working on a project and you keep finding yourself like stepping back and going, that just seems a little too much for me. Um, if it's something you really want to do, just go for it. Just like break through any barriers that have held you back in the past. This is also a huge year of releasing energy. And well, that energy has been going on for many years, several years, but more than ever, the stars are aligning in such a way that it's really giving us that extra push to be able to just release past challenges, past conflict that we've had, or any negative emotion or trauma that we haven't been able to let go. This year's really helping us, especially the early part of this year, really helping us give that extra push. So that's wonderful. Now, many of you probably know that we have the full moon on Monday, and the full moon is in Cancer too. So the full moon energy, there's 5 planets in water at this full moon, which means water can be a challenge. And now we're seeing that in the fires out in California, but there can also be flooding. So in other areas of the world, we may see some major flooding. So anything to do with water, but on a metaphysical level, it's dealing with our emotions. So emotions, again, could run high, um, not necessarily negative, just be aware, and also compassion. So, like getting back to that humanitarian theme, that's really wonderful. And I'm just keeping my eye on the time here because I want to do a little mini meditation. Um, there's a lot of power dynamics over the next couple of years that are coming really to the forefront. And this is just, in general, especially with Pluto moving into Aquarius for the next, I don't know, I think it's like 18 years. Pluto, again, the planet of the underworld, the planet of major transformation. I'm talking about those deep foundational rumbles that shake the earth, right? So I tend to think of Pluto as kind of like an earthquake that's been, building up the tension for many years. But Uranus is more of the actually when it breaks, it's just a sudden, like, oh my gosh. But Pluto is more like making these subtle shifts, so moving the earth an eighth of an inch, an eighth of an inch, an eighth of an inch, until we have a new landscape. So that's the energy of Pluto. And being an Aquarius, an air sign, is going to be a lot about ideas, a lot about consciousness. And Aquarius is about consciousness raising. Um, it is about thinking of the greater good. So we may look at this point, today's January 11th, 2025, and go, I don't know about that. But know that this is just the beginning of a new cycle. So when we're at that cusp of change, remember, Pluto is like moving things of an eighth of an inch, that's or less. It's totally imperceptible to the human eye. Yet these forces are shifting underneath us. Absolutely. We are moving into an era that is about power to the people. It is about reclaiming the power that we've all given over to authority in any shape or form. And it's shifting. So when we're going through that, there's going to be, change. I'm one of those people who love change for the most part. Of course, there's types of change that I don't want, but many people really fear change, want everything to stay the way they are, the way it is, and it can be a real challenge. So just know that shifting into this energy will be a challenge, but we will be at a better place. Oh, so much to say about that, which I will talk about more in future updates. We are shifting into a higher frequency of consciousness. It is not something that we're talking about anymore. Ever since probably the 1960s, we've been talking about moving into the age of Aquarius. We're going into the age of Aquarius, but we are absolutely in that transition period, and it's manifesting right now. So, any other really key things I wanted to share? Just looking at my list here. Oh, the nodal axis. So there's the north node and the south node, which is related to the moon and the eclipses. I'm not going to get into detail because absolutely, I couldn't even give you a clear definition of the nodal axis. I just know that it's really a key part of our evolution as a collective as well as personal. We all have the north node and south node in our chart, and these nodal axes shift and they go backwards, different than they're going kind of counterclockwise. And the nodal axis shifting today, really important. It is at 0 degrees Aries, and it's shifting today into 29 degrees Pisces. And it is actually going to be conjunct Neptune, which is at 29 degrees Pisces. Okay, so the nodal axis is shifting into Pisces at 29 degrees. It will be exactly conjunct Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces. I said that twice because it is so, so important for those of us who are in anybody listening to this. You are on your spiritual path, and what Neptune is doing at the 29th degree of Pisces is moving us, blasting us into a new era of this evolution of humanity on this planet. We are living through this major consciousness evolution. And so the nodal axis, the north node, which is about our future and our soul's evolution, is going to be conjunct. So themes around that, stepping into your power, stepping into your evolutionary journey are so, so important. And remembering that our consciousness, the collective consciousness, moves in this spiral, comes down into our planet. And of course, I'm sharing this in a 3D way. I mean, we need to kind of conceptualize things in a 3D way. So imagine this like light, consciousness coming down from the heavens, right, onto the planet. The closer it comes, the denser it gets. And this consciousness or thoughts that are in this collective consciousness in the Akashic records is moving down all the time and becoming denser and denser until it becomes matter. It becomes physical. And as far as our thoughts go, it creates our life situations that we're in, right? So when we remember that, just want you to kind of step into that, recalling that when you're feeling kind of like, our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts create our reality. So, this meditation, I want to take you on for the next 9 minutes or so. So, if you can, if you're able to, and you're not driving, if you can close your eyes for just a moment. And imagine that this beautiful light from the heavens coming down into your body through your crown chakra. And it's filling your body with beautiful golden white light, filling you up anywhere in your body that needs a little extra attention. Could be a physical tightness, or maybe an illness or ailment, or maybe it's just the confusion, right? In our brains, in our hearts. So just allow that golden light to really refresh, calm, bring lightness to the dark. And imagine that this energy from the core of Mother Earth is coming up through the earth, coming down, coming up into your body through your spinal column. And it is also filling your body with this beautiful earth energy, benevolent, loving, the mother, the yin. And these two energies, the energy from the heaven, the father, the yang, they meet in your heart in this most intelligent location in your body. This most intelligent organ that is so much more than what 3D reality tells us. It is our intelligence of the utmost, the highest form of intelligence in our body. It is where our energy field emanates from. And imagine that you step out of your chair, if you're sitting, you walk 10 paces forward. Stop and turn around and see yourself sitting or wherever you are. See yourself in your mind's eye doing this meditation. Now you who walked forward, you're in the future, if there is a future, because all time is relative. We're always in the present now. But imagine in this 3D reality that you're in the future. a few months in the future, perhaps, feeling abundant, feeling love, gratitude, on purpose, and you're seeing yourself sitting in this chair doing the meditation. Sometimes it can be a little hard to keep that visual. I know I just have to keep coming back to that. So seeing Maureen sitting in the chair. Now, what do you want yourself to know that's in this present moment, sitting in the chair, doing this meditation? What do you want yourself to know? What does your future self want your present self to know? Now, from your future self, I want you to emanate the most beautiful golden light to your present self. This beautiful light, you can see it surrounding your present self. Embracing, bringing love, peace, acceptance, sense of belonging. Just hold that space for a few moments. Now, your future self steps back, comes back into your present self consciousness. Be tap your legs, stamp your feet, make sure you're all back in your body. And feel that expansiveness in your heart. All right, so gently open your eyes. So, for those of you who were with me during the winter solstice meditation last month, where I said I was going to start doing these, I was talking about how 2025 was going to be much easier. And maybe much is too big of a strong of a word, but if we step into this future self, whenever we feel lost, fearful, anxious, just know that on the other side, we will be in a much, much better place. And, you know, we were all here to be part of this journey, to be part of this evolutionary journey together. So we got to just play our role. Yeah, step into our role. Like I said, practice what we've been talking about, many of us for decades, some of us for a few years, maybe a few months, whatever it is. That is beautiful. You need to inhabit and to live in this future self now. It's confident, abundant, loving, compassionate self. And there was this quote, and I don't recall who said it, but it said, "It is in the darkest of night that we can see the stars." And I think that so well is a beautiful metaphor for where we find ourselves right now. So thank you all for coming on. I so appreciate your being here. And as I said, I'm going to attempt to do these once a month, a half an hour energy update and mini meditation. I hope you'll join me. Maybe I think I'm going to do it on Zoom and Instagram Live. So, yeah, I'm recording this on Zoom. So if you follow me, you'll get a recording. If you came in late, you'll be able to watch the whole thing. So anyhow, thank you, everybody. And I just wish you big hugs and just a beautiful, beautiful month. And I will see you February 8th, which is the next one. All right, everybody. Lots of love. I always forget how to turn this off. All righty. Bye, everybody. So good to see you guys. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Donna. All right.